Hello, I'm back with another video, and as previously mentioned, I did a video about all the things I love about the signs, so it felt that it would be rude not to do a video where I roast the signs. I think I should just jump straight into it. Get ready to be torn apart by me. Okay, so Aries. You guys can just be kind of insensitive sometimes. Maybe that's just coming from me as a Cancer, who is probably the most sensitive of all the signs. But Aries, you can just be so insensitive. I feel like Aries is part of the impulsiveness. So if they think of a joke or something that will make them look cool, they will just say it without actually thinking like, oh, this could be kind of mean. So yeah, they can just be a bit mean just because they want to be like leading a situation, almost like seen to be like cutthroat and daring, and I feel like sometimes it can just come off as just mean. Also, so many Aries I know are so vain, so into your looks and your hair and like your outfits, like another level of vanity. Maybe even more so than Librans, I'd say. I don't know. Also, I just personally, this is like my own personal experience, but I have noticed it with a lot of Aries people that I know, is you guys can be incredibly flaky. And I think honestly it's because I feel like Aries make so many plans and they're so impulsive that when it comes to that day that you've made that plan with them, like something else has taken their fancy at that point and they're just going to go with that instinct. And yeah, I just feel like you guys are too busy with so much going on that actually, from the perspective of other people in your circle, you just are kind of flaky. And finally, so arrogant. Oh my god, I think so. Aries, I feel like Aries are naturally very confident, but there are times when that confidence, you know, there's a thin line, isn't there, between confidence and arrogance. Taurus, you guys are so stubborn. So stubborn. Like, I have had my fair share of experience of knowing Tauruses, and I feel like there can be situations where, okay, say for an example that you are choosing a film to watch, and I feel like Tauruses will just, they'll already have their mind made up that they don't want to watch your film before they've even heard what your film is. Like I've been around Tauruses where I can sense that from them. I can sense that they're just not going to be open to that suggestion because they want it done their way. I feel like you also can't like convince them of a viewpoint yourself. Like they will have to decide in their own good time to come around to your point of view, because you're just so like unopen to any other kind of suggestion. Like you've already made up your mind that you don't like it before you've even heard it, just because it's come from someone else. You can also be kind of possessive and kind of controlling. Again, I think that links to the stubbornness, but it's definitely a trait that I've noticed in Taurus. With like maybe friends or people in your life, you get too involved and you become overbearing and controlling. And again, I think it's because you are very like stubborn, but that can then seep into other areas of your life. I feel like Taurus can kind of get into a habit of just getting stuck in their own ways and like just like doing the same thing and like the same routine, and it's like because that's comfortable to you, and then you're just never gonna kind of break out of that, and that can become almost like a bit damaging. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, my main problem with Geminis is I never feel like I can 100% trust them with like deep stuff, because I feel like Geminis just love sharing information, and so I always feel like I have a bit of a guard up when I'm getting kind of candid with a Gemini, because I'm like, you say you're gonna keep this between us, but I know that you love to talk. I feel like you're the kind of people that will care a bit less about sort of morals when it comes to anything that's to do with like gossip or sharing something about someone. I feel like you just live for that gossip, and I feel like Geminis, you're just, again, you're quite intelligent, and I feel like that can almost be a disadvantage because you sort of put yourself above other people, and then it's like you kind of have no loyalties. Also, oh my god, in arguments, you can argue your way out of things that you wouldn't even like know anything about. You could literally have all the cards stacked against you in an argument, but you will still be able to find a way of making your point come across and sound good, and like making the other person question themselves when probably they're more in the right, but you're just so good with like using your words to get out of situations. So Cancers, you guys need to learn how to be direct. Like you need to stop just being all like, you know, oh, I'm gonna drop a hint here, drop a hint there. Like you guys need to actually grow some balls and be direct with people, and if there's something that you don't like, instead of just being sat there pitying yourself and like hoping someone will notice you looking all like moody and dramatic, like actually go out and just tell someone that you have a problem with them. But you won't do that because you're Cancers and you hate conflict. You also need to stop oh my god, you need to stop emotional manipulation with people. Like I feel like every Cancer does this to a certain degree, like whether you do it a lot or whether it's just done on a very, very subtle level, I feel like every Cancer kind of uses this in a way. I feel like you navigate through life that way if there's a tricky situation going on, because you don't know how to be direct, so you're gonna just be like subtle and try and drop hints and try and coerce the situation to go your way, and actually it just doesn't help the situation most of the time. You also just need to like stop crying. Like it's not that deep. I know it feels it, but it's not. And you will guilt trip people to get what you want as well. Like you have absolutely no qualms with doing that. In fact, I feel like a lot of the time you don't even realize that you're doing it because it comes that naturally to you. Leos, you are attention seeking. Let someone else have their moment. You are not the king or queen of every situation. I feel like you have a problem, like when you see someone else getting attention, I feel like a lot of Leos will just be there like, it should be me. It should be me. Like that's, obviously you're not doing that, but that's what you're feeling inside. I know it. I know you are. And also you make this big show of being really confident when actually you're quite needy. Like really that confidence is less confidence and more just, please love me, please love me, please love me, please love me. Like you try and make it look all kind of like you've got it together and you're so confident, when it's really just you need approval basically from people. I also think when you tell stories or accounts of things that have happened to you, you kind of have a tendency to embellish those a little bit. Like maybe not a lot, but I feel like every Leo does this. You do exaggerate because you want to get the attention again. You need to make it all about you. It's a big show, so you're going to exaggerate that story. You're also, like Taurus, quite stubborn. Not quite as stubborn as Taurus, but oh my god, you're stubborn as well. You're both fixed signs, so also I can do a video about the different types of signs, like cardinal, fixed, mutable as well, because I'm aware that not everyone will understand what I mean when I say fixed signs. Anyway, Taurus and Leo are fixed signs, which generally means that they're stubborn. So with Virgos, I think the main thing I struggle with is I feel like Virgos can put up this kind of distance. I always feel that personally, like I feel like there's a distance there with Virgos before I can get to their emotions, and it's like there's this like ice wall that's there stopping me getting through. You also can kind of nag, like you'll just sort of like nag people to do stuff or behave a certain way. Virgos quite often, like being nitpicky with the people you love is almost how you show your love. For you, you think you're doing a nice thing and you're helping them out, but like I know for a lot of people that is not enjoyable, and unfortunately, a lot of the way that you show your love is by being nitpicky and kind of pointing out little things and ways that someone else can improve. Oh my god, also you cannot deal with criticism. Like, you are more than happy to give it out, but you cannot take it. You just can't take criticism. It just really doesn't sit well with you to be told that you're not doing something right. Also, you need to just like stop this whole thing that you've built up for yourselves where it's like nothing's ever going to be perfect enough for you. Like, you're always like, oh, there's something that can be improved, something that can be improved. Just relax. Like, it's fine. Nothing has to be perfect. Like, it's like chill, you know? Librans, you need to speak up for yourselves. Stop being a sponge of other people's opinions of what they want to do, and actually say what you want to do sometimes instead of just being like a doormat for people. It's because you just need peace at any price, so you're just sometimes a bit of a pushover for that. Also, your aversion to conflict can, in many cases, actually create more conflict for you because you haven't picked a side and you've been like wishy-washy and you've just not really stuck to any particular guns just to kind of make life easier, and then that's probably ended up just biting you on the bum anyway. So you also can't really cope with being on your own too long. Like, you just can't. You need someone. You're kind of needy, sorry. And you'll often take the opposite side in an argument just for like the fairness of the dialogue, which is kind of ironic because you hate arguments and conflict anyway, and yet you'll always then, whether you even sort of think it yourself or not, if there's a discussion going on, you'll always be there like, oh, I need to sort of represent the other point of view, and it might not even be a point of view that you agree with, and you're just there like every time like, oh, Libra's gonna defend the side that we don't even need defending, to be honest. Everyone else is on the same page. And like Aries a little bit, you're kind of superficial and kind of like into your looks. Scorpios, you can be kind of mean as well. I feel like you have certain comebacks or things that you would just say to someone as a defense mechanism, and it just will come across as mean. I also get this really strong vibe from I feel like every single Scorpio I know, like most Scorpios I know, where you just feel like you're on this pedestal above people and kind of like removed from other people, and you just, it's like an ego thing, but it's like this vibe of I'm better than all of you. Like, I'm so above all of you. You also are always like observing other people and trying to work people out, but you're so guarded yourself. Like, Scorpios, oh my god, they're like so guarded. I don't know what they think they're hiding, or they're just trying to seem mysterious, but you just love to work other people out but then keep yourselves to yourselves, and it's like, come on, we need to have it both ways. Also, do hold grudges. Oh my god, you will hold a grudge until the end of time. You won't forget. They say an elephant never forgets. Really, they need to say a Scorpio never forgets. And to be honest, I just feel like a lot of Scorpios just think they know best. Like, they just think their opinion is the opinion that matters the most. Sagittarians, you cannot take on any responsibility. You are so bad at just taking life responsibilities on. Like, you'd rather just be free and have no worries and not care about anything in the world. Unfortunately, life's not quite like that, and sometimes you actually have to buckle down and deal with your responsibilities. You also make very blunt remarks. Like, you guys are the kings and queens of putting your foot in your mouth, saying something that you haven't thought through, probably making someone else feel bad, and not even realising that you've said something that's upset someone. Like, you'll just blurt stuff out and be so oblivious to other people's emotions and the kind of things that you could say that could upset other people. You're incredibly hard to get to commit to anything because you just sort of too go with the flow. Like, you just don't really care about like structure and being tied down. Also, you can be kind of childish and not even like be aware of a situation where everyone else is pulling more of their weight than you, and you guys just don't even notice. You just live in your blissful world where you have no responsibility. Capricorns, you're kind of boring. Sorry. You're just very straight-laced. You're very conservative. Well, most of you very like conservative in the way you appear to people. Just sort of like serious. You have this like really serious vibe, and I feel like, yeah, you're just sort of boring. You have this like cold ambition, because you just sort of care about getting ahead in life. And I feel like some Capricorns can even use people in the process to get ahead, like, because all you really care about is just climbing up that ladder, being the top dog, and living your boring, probably rich, well-off life. Also, again, I feel like you're so guarded with your emotions. You just like keep this distance with people because you don't want to seem over emotional, or like, even to an extent, like you don't want to seem unprofessional in like day-to-day life. Yeah, bit dull, sorry. Aquarius. Again, another one who I just find, you're just so distant. Like, you're just so distant from people. You hate to get your emotions into a situation. Like, you'll always be holding back from being vulnerable with people. Like, you just don't want to let yourself get to that point and show your vulnerabilities. Also, you just really care far too much about having your own space. Like, you can be kind of antisocial. Not antisocial, but just distant. Like, you just want your own space. You don't want to be feeling like you're tied down in any way. You almost have like a weird, overly personal appearance when it's to kind of external causes and things that you're not actually connected to, but you come across as like, oh, this loving philanthropic, that's not a word, but this loving, like, charitable, good-hearted person. But then actually when it gets to like the people close to you in your life, you're so distant, and it's just like you're this robotic kind of cold, yeah. Also, you're another fixed sign. Give it up for the fixed signs. Yeah, you're another fixed sign, so once again your opinion won't be swayed on anything. Like, you're so fixed in your views and so unmoving. And as well, I feel like with your emotional distance, it's like you'll just numb things out. Like, it's like you're scared to feel emotions, and yeah, you just have this, like, you guys can just be sort of robotic at times, and yeah, it's hard to get like personal with. And finally, Pisces. You guys can be kind of like slippery people. Like, I feel like I don't know whether you're coming or going. Like, you're just sort of going through life without actually like planning anything, and just getting into kind of various situations. And sometimes I just don't know where I stand with Pisces, because you're just like here, there and everywhere. Also, you guys can be quite loud and messy drunks, and I feel like you can, yeah, just be a bit irresponsible at times. You're way too gullible, you're way too overly sensitive, and you can absolutely wallow in your own self-pity and actually be your own downfall for that. And yeah, you try and put across this like air of mysteriousness and aloofness, but like really you guys are just shy. You're just so shy, and you need to just be a bit more forthcoming, a bit more open, but instead when things go wrong, you tend to then get into the messy drunk stage, then get into the self-wallow in self-pity stage, and sort of be your own worst enemies, and you have really bad self-destructive behaviours. Yeah, that was my roasting of the signs. I didn't want to make this video too long because it's pretty negative. Like, I don't actually hate the signs. I don't hate all these traits and things. Like, obviously people are complex, and not everyone's going to be 100% their whole sign, because you'll have different signs in different parts of your chart. So some of you might, even if you say have like a prominent sign in that isn't your sign but it's in a prominent part of your chart, you'll probably also have these bad things going for you as well. this was just a bit of fun. Don't get offended. It's just for fun. I had fun roasting everyone and venting my frustrations at everyone. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. Bye. Oh my god. Lola's being so cute. You need to see. Look. Look. Couldn't you just eat that up?